Yeah, and speaking of mobile titles, um, it seems like the Wii U is being gradually phased out, but what about the Nintendo 3DS?
Ooh.
Kimishima also spoke about the popular handheld system and said that more unannounced first-party Nintendo 3DS games are in development. Kimishima has revealed that there are more unannounced games and third-party games coming to Nintendo 3DS. He did neglect to mention the Wii U, so it could be that the next first-party titles we get for the Wii U are Paper Mario and The Legend of Zelda. But we
Codename
know,
Steam 2.
yeah, and we're getting Sun and
Can't
Moon too. So,
wait.
but those are announced. But we know that there is for sure is more 3DS titles coming, and uh, I would think that
Federation Force.
I would
Triforce
think
Heroes 2.
yeah, Federation Force. Yeah, I'm so hyped for that. But I would think at E3 we'll for sure hear at least announcement of these supposedly unannounced 3DS
Yeah,
games
they.
alongside their only game. Like, I don't know if we mentioned that at E3 the only playable game is going to be Zelda NX or
Yeah,
U slash
yeah.
SNES.
Maybe we should have talked about that at the beginning, but I mean, maybe we can talk about it later. Something because yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
Well, it's
Or
just a lot
maybe
of controversy around it. Like a lot of people, honestly, like we kind of started off the show and are announcing all this as like big kind of cool news, but there's like kind of a negative side where a lot of people are kind of uh, not too pleased about it, and like their stocks plummeted a bit after the
yeah.
announcement, and so it's kind of a controversy about all of these things
Yeah,
about
I
how
think
they're
maybe we can encompass like just in this whole kind of snippet here with like the unannounced 3DS games, the no announced Wii U games, and then E3 having really no sign of anything else besides Zelda U. Is just yeah. I mean, I think the negative because yeah, like you just said, when I was up covering these live announcements, I was like, this is good news after good news after good news after. I mean, I was just like, I was hyped. I was tweeting. I was sharing. I was like, this is it. Like this is the Nintendo bombshell of information that we wanted. Like it was disappointing that it was March, but I was just more so happy to have an actual release date. And I was like, you know what, March does make sense for that if they want to have the software there to accompany it, and like if they want to maybe separate themselves from the rest of the stuff. I mean, I was I was fine with all of it, but then you start to I mean, in kind of I think Nintendo fashion, at least for us, like you and I experienced Star Fox, and we're like, this is awesome. Let's go online and see what other people are saying. Oh, everyone hates it. And like we get
yeah
this Nintendo news, and we're like, this is awesome. Let's go online and see what everyone else says. Oh, they all hate it.
hmm
And I think that's just kind of the trend for Nintendo fans is they're like, this is awesome. Anyone else agree?
yeah.
No?
Well, I don't
Okay.
think. Well, I think I should probably also note that like I did have some concerns about it as
Oh,
well. Like,
definitely, yeah.
just kind of wonder. Like, I do think that Nintendo maybe needs to step it up just a little bit in their like we've all heard about this NX for a long time now. We all
In
know
Zelda
like
U.
they finally really yeah, and they finally release like they lift their silence on it and start actually just saying okay, like the NX exists, it's coming out March 2017, but we're not going to be talking about it for like until later this year. And I just feel like I don't know, I think they need to maybe pick up the pace a bit because of how much the Wii U is struggling and how much like the stocks plummeted and people are just kind of skeptical and getting a little tired of the mystery and hype I think around the NX like
Yeah.
trickle of information, and they just want to get some concrete answers, and Nintendo's still kind of playing games just a little bit. And you know, I don't know, it seems like not I'm not totally disappointed, I'm definitely thankful, happy, super happy that we heard that they announced it. We know it's coming out March 2017, and that they finally said that Zelda is coming out on the NX, and all these things. But I just feel like they should have said like you'll hear more about it at E3. We will at least talk about it to you guys. Be more transparent and maybe open. It seems like they're just being a little too secretive and guarded in an
Hmm.
age where a lot of these companies seem to be opening up a lot more in terms of like communicating with their fans. And like I was
Yeah.
also mentioning, it seemed like for a couple years Nintendo was really doing a great job at opening up more. And then kind of recently, maybe with
They
the
just
NX,
they closed their doors when Iwata passed away.
yeah,
Like when he passed away, they kind of went into emergency shutdown mode, and they're like, "All right, like he's gone. We're not going to tell you who our next president is. I can tell like
yeah,
we've actually put him in there. We're
hmm
not going to tell you what the NX is. We're not going to tell you what games we're releasing. We're not going to tell you anything about mobile. Like
yeah,
they just And maybe that was Iwata that was pushing a lot of that open communication. And with him gone, they're like, all right, since he's gone, we're not going to say anything else. Um, yeah, because it wasn't even until like a year later, like at the Game Awards or something like that, that we got kind of like an official tribute to him from Nintendo, and that was like Reggie at the Game Awards or something like that.
Yeah.
And like you would expect like them to like, I mean, I guess it's Japan culture, and it's also just like a big company. It's not something that they put forward, like on their Twitter and stuff. Like immediate,
Mhm. Yeah.
like recognition of that. But at the same time, like, yeah, they, ever since he passed away, they've been really, really, yeah, like you said, taking things slow and being slow to
Mhm.
announce it. And even like I look at Call of Duty as an example of something that leaks. Like every year, we know what the next Call of Duty is well before they announce it. But usually, companies are getting in the habit, at least, like with Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, when something leaks, they're like, all right, go ahead and share it.
Yeah.
Like someone saw the
Yeah,
trailer online,
definitely.
go ahead
Mhm.
and share the trailer. Like we wanted to wait till the anniversary, but it's too late now. Let's get ahead of this and market it ourselves so we get the views, so we get the attention, and so
Yeah.
we can own the message. And Nintendo is like, oh, that just got leaked. Be more quiet. Shut the doors tighter.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
I
it's a cultural thing.
yeah,
I mean, they have this feeling about perfection, and if something leaks, it's like a, yeah, it's not perfection, and then they just try to hide it or speak it down, I guess.
yeah,
Mhm.
they
I
do that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you could see how it is with Sony, also very secretive, or I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how they.
mean, they announced the PS4 pretty early on, although they're being very secretive, I think, with the PlayStation 4K
Yeah, the
4.5 rumors.
Neo, some of their first party titles that they're kind of secretive about, and we're always like wondering, will we hear about,
Yeah, Sony banned.
Last Guardian and all these kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been a few times where like they'll like someone will misreport that the Last Guardian was canceled, and then they'll be like, no, 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 we never said that. And then it's like, oh, so it is coming? Well, we never said that either, but we didn't say it was canceled. And they'll do things. I mean, yeah, where it's like, so do we have a PlayStation 4K coming out? Well, we always plan on like making the PlayStation even better than it is now. It's like, so does that mean we're getting a new thing soon? Well, we didn't say that, and it's just, I mean,
Hmm.
so yeah, maybe that is a more Japan thing because I mean, you have Phil Spencer from Xbox. He's always tweeting out Xbox sales numbers, or not Xbox sales numbers,
What?
but he's always like kind of sharing like their thoughts and their kind of
I was just gonna
what
mention, kind of almost like that, like they seem almost to be like, I guess, the Trump in a way, like to just say like off the cuff things, like whatever they're thinking. It kind of hurts them sometimes,
Phil
like with the
Spencer.
whole, well, just the whole Xbox thing in general, where they kind of came out and did the whole like, no, you can't turn in your used games, and the whole Xbox go home, and like maybe
No,
doing some of these things without fully thinking through
that
and
was a disaster.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's been in what 2 years now, 3 years now, and that's
yeah,
still biting them in the butt. Like
uh-huh,
people, I still have people ask me like, because they have PlayStations, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get an Xbox One maybe for this holiday season because it does have good exclusives now. And they're like, yeah, but doesn't it like not play used games or something? And it's like, oh no, it can. It can play like Xbox 360 games. Like it can do everything. And people are like, oh, I heard that it was really bad with that.
yeah,
And that's still biting them in the butt because people are still have some sort of stigma with it that it can't play used games. It's not as powerful. You have to get connect with it and stuff like because they led with that, um,
mhm,
which isn't really relevant to the conversation
yeah,
at hand. But but I guess it is because then you have Nintendo, and they're gonna if they don't start talking about the NX soon, and if they don't start talking up Nintendo and the Wii U and all that soon, then the internet's gonna own the conversation if they don't own it already. And so far, the message of the internet is that Nintendo is delaying because they don't have like they're not ready. They can't compete with Sony. They can't compete with Xbox. They don't have the third party support, so they have to do it all themselves. Like that the message is being owned by everyone else. And even if NX launches with awesome software and awesome specs, there's a lot of people that are being like, "All right, you lost me because I've been just hearing bad stuff from everyone else. I don't trust you anymore." Same way that Xbox had that similar problem of, "All
yeah,
right, I'm not hearing good things from you. I've heard it from everyone else. That's bad. I'm gonna trust them. Goodbye." And so hopefully, because we talked about how Zelda 2017 is the only game playable at E3.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that probably in a later episode about our E3 speculations and as we get closer to kind of what E3 is going to be shaping out to be, because we may be getting more details on that in the next month as that actually comes up, and then we get information on other conferences and the whole structure.
Mhm.
We'll talk more, I think, specifically about that. We kind of have to. Our initial reaction is that kind of stinks, but um, I think though they're going to have to really. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it without talking about the NX, but yeah, they're going to have to give a lot of hope at E3 that things are going to be okay. Because yeah, we talked about this, I think, just privately or something on Facebook or just in text or something, Zach, that
Yeah.
they can't have another dead year. They can't have another year of please wait, please understand. We'll have more information later. Like
Yeah.
maybe they can. I mean, maybe we're like, who are we to say they can't do that? I mean,
Yeah.
they're Nintendo. At the same time, that sentence means less and less nowadays. Like,
Right.
oh, it's Nintendo. They'll be all right. Well, will they? Because they're losing a ton of money. Like,
Yeah.
they will be all right until they lose it all.
Yeah.
And so, and we're definitely. I mean, go to our last podcast, we're being accused of being paid by Nintendo. We're definitely people that support them almost to a fault. Like we're always there to be like the kind of positive spin, I think, on their news and their announcements and stuff. Like we always want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I mean, yeah, they gotta spin this one hard if they want to. I mean,
Yeah.
because new 3DS games aren't gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like unless it's, I mean,
Well, they have the possibility to just tease some titles, like just have the Metroid logo come up and everybody cheers and screams and hollers and they say like, okay, and they assure everybody that Federation Force is not the only Metroid title we're getting for the next decade or whatever. And then I don't know, like it's interesting because I don't know how many people have said like Nintendo really needs to come out this year, do a stage show, not do a direct. They need to come back like physically, and they need to like really reveal, like do the pull out of your pocket NX, here it is moment again, sort of comeback, or do
yeah,
some sort of really creative like introducing of the NX that gets everybody talking and steals the show again. I really think it'll be painful for them if they do another sort of like opening the show with color splash or something,
yeah.
and then like I don't know, and then it
They'll
looks
they'll probably
questionable.
open the show the direct. I think it'll be a
Yeah, it'll
direct
be a
again.
Zelda probably opening.
Yeah, it'll be opening up with like the title of the Legend of Zelda. They'll be hype.
What a
Miyamoto will come out with a
yeah.
sword and shield
Yeah.
and be like, "Is this what you like? Is this what you wanted?" But yeah, so I don't know. I think there's lots of talk about them like bringing back Space World, which was like a Nintendo conference, like their own E3 basically, later this year. We'll see what they do with all of that. But yeah, I mean, they're because honestly, like even if they have like first party games, like it's like no, don't even bother. Just give me Pokemon. Work on the NX. Like,
Mhm.
what are you doing? Just like let's go. Like let's just move. If you're gonna do that, might as well just move on.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. Once again, though, we've also heard that the NX development is very similar to the 3DS/Wii U. So
Yeah.
maybe through developing these 3DS games, it's not too hard to just be co-developing some NX titles as well.